Black MIDI is the technique of inputting so many notes into a computer's MIDI sequencer that the resulting sheet music is just a mass of black nothingness. Black MIDI composers compete to see how many millions of notes they can cram within a single composition. It's a really fascinating use of technology, and you really should watch this video if you're at all interested in it. Amazingly, all of the techniques in the music of Black MIDI composers were pioneered over a half-century ago by a little-known composer by the name of Conlon Nancarrow. Nancarrow not only did everything that Black MIDI composers do without the aid of a computer, but also created music so fantastically complex that not only can they not be performed by humans, it violates the laws of physics. And you thought that progressive metal was complicated? Man, you have to check out some of this stuff.
Hey man, you gotta check out some of this stuff.
Nancarrow primarily worked with player pianos. You can kind of think of them as steampunk MIDI sequencers. These mechanical pianos read punched rolls of paper and not coincidentally look exactly the same as the piano rolls of modern-day digital audio workstations. In their day, player pianos were kind of a novelty that you would find in some homes and businesses playing popular Tin Pan Alley songs or ragtime songs, but were never really considered a serious musical compositional tool. These devices were cold, sterile, and mechanical, and they didn't really have any element of human music making. Nancarrow saw this as an advantage. Untethered by what humans could realistically be expected to do, Nancarrow's initial experiments with the player piano yielded some pretty interesting results. In the 1930s, Nancarrow, like some other Americans, joined the Communist Party and went to fight in Spain in the Spanish Civil War against Franco's nationalists. When he came home, he found that the political climate had shifted radically against communism, and so he emigrated to Mexico, where he spent the rest of his life. There, he composed his Piano Player Study No. 12 as an homage to his time spent in Spain. It's a glorious explosion of notes that's very evocative of Spanish flamenco guitar. Many of the techniques used by Black MIDI composers were originated with Nancarrow, like multi-octave chromatic glissandi and gigantic tone clusters. A lot of these can be found in his Piano Player Study No. 25. Another fun thing that Black MIDI composers do is they like drawing pictures of shapes in the piano roll. Nancarrow also, of course, did this too. Nancarrow's legacy is a little bit more than this, though. He's mainly known for his groundbreaking work with canons. A canon is a simple melody that's designed to be offset by a certain number of beats. It's also known as a round. Simple canons have the ratio of 1 to 1. When the next melody comes in, it's at the same speed as the first melody.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a...
You can also write canons where the second melody comes in at half the speed as the first melody. This is called a canon in augmentation.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Or where the second melody comes in at double the speed of the first melody. This is called a canon in diminution.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily.
Either way, the rhythmic ratios of these alterations are 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. To say that Nancarrow took this idea further is a little bit of an understatement. Instead of simple ratios, Nancarrow kind of went off the rails. In his study number 14, he used the rhythmic ratio of 4 to 5. In his study 17, he used the rhythmic ratio of 12 against 15 against 20. In his study number 36, he used the rhythmic ratio of 17 against 18 against 19 against 20. These are all ridiculous. You can't even notate them in standard notation. Consider the polyrhythmic ratio of 4 against 3. You can notate it one of several different ways, which I have written here. The bottom way of writing 4 against 3 is a little unusual, but it's Nancarrow's preferred method of writing these complex rhythmic relationships. Most of these are only possible because of the player piano. We can't possibly fathom of playing them as a human. Even still, they're all simple integer ratios. Nancarrow dared to ask the question, what if we created rhythmic relationships based upon irrational numbers. Check out the score to his study number 33. It's based upon the rhythmic relationship of 2 against the square root of 2. This not only means that humans can't physically play this piece of music, computers can't either because it violates the laws of physics, because irrational units of time can't exist because of Planck's constant. Links in the description. It literally is impossible music. This, of course, didn't concern Nancarrow in the slightest, and he happily wrote all sorts of other irrational canons like this one, which has the ratio of e to pi. You really can't tell what the hell is going on, but it sounds cool. Even this pales in comparison to his study number 41, which is also known as his transcendental study. Check out the rhythmic relationship on this guy. It's a rhythmic relationship of 1 over 3 times the square root of pi over the cube root of 3 over 16, all against 1 over the square root of pi over the square root of 2 over 3. I've linked in the description a really mind-melding article about how to actually perform irrational ratios. I don't even really understand it, but it's really fascinating. So the question that a lot of people will have after watching this video and being confronted with Nancarrow's music for the first time is why? It might seem to some people like an academic exercise run amok, completely devoid of any sort of musicality. I can understand that mindset, but what draws me to the music of Conlon Nancarrow is that it's so freakishly, genuinely unique. I can genuinely say I've never heard music like it. One of the most important things I've ever learned as an artist is that your job is not to ask the question, may I? It's to ask the question, what if? Nancarrow's music is a perfect example of somebody following that question, what if, to its most gloriously absurd conclusion. Freed to create music unbound from human performers, Nancarrow's music to me seems joyous, playful, and ruckus. Yes, they're mathematically constructed and mechanical, but in each player piano study, I hear him reaching and reaching for more and more interesting ideas. Anyway, I hope this introduction to the music of Conlon Nancarrow has interested you. If you'd like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned because I have a new video coming out every Monday. I'm Neely, and I'll see you next time.